REKT podcast is brought to you by Honey Miner. Want to start mining, but never had the technical skills or time? Honey Miner is the answer. Honey Miner is a one-click install mining software that downloads directly to your computer and earns you Bitcoin. No more writing scripts or configurations. Just download the desktop app and start mining immediately. What are you waiting for? Go to honeyminer.com and start earning Bitcoin while you sleep today. That's honeyminer.com, on Twitter at GetHoneyMiner, and Telegram at t.me/honeyminer.
I'm Cynthia Wood, and this is REKT.
Hello and welcome to REKT Podcast. I am Bunchu Betts, joined as every time with our other two fantastic hosts. Cynthia, how are you doing?
I'm wrecked physically. I'm hella sick.
Still physically wrecked from last time. We are wishing her a speedy recovery because, you know, she is part of what makes this REKT train run. So we wish her a speedy recovery. And Chamber, how are you doing today?
You know what? I'm doing real good. It's a sunny day today. Trying to keep my spirits up. But no, it's awesome.
Wait, let's talk about why your spirits might be down.
Oh, do we have to?
I mean, it's part of our job here, I think.
All right. This is really taking a toll on me.
Stay away from the CN Tower, dude.
No,
yeah,
it's very far away.
Last week, Chamber was on top of the CN Tower. That was last Thursday.
Turns out I'm not allowed to go there anymore.
Yeah,
he's
now been banned.
Kind of an issue.
Yep. He's actually, if you see him now, he's actually climbing the outside of the building with the suction cups, like, you know, those guys that just try to scale the building.
It's not working very well.
There. No, that's him out there. Yeah, these markets are not doing great.
They're bloody.
We are bloody here. So we are recording this on, what day is today? Tuesday.
Hey. In the future, we might be in the green, so who knows?
Yeah, well, that's what I'm saying. So just for some perspective, we recorded that last one on last Thursday. Everything was falling. Then over the weekend, we saw a nice little bounce. And now it is Tuesday, and pretty much everything except my wonderful, wonderful Ripple bag. I think I found the correlation, Chamber. It's Bitcoin goes down, Ripple goes up, and that's pretty much it.
I've never heard Ripple and wonderful in the same sentence before. So
well, we're going to talk about Ripple later. We're going to talk about Ripple later in the show. Yeah. And look, I know this is like the third show in a row that I've talked about Ripple, and everybody's going to like pin me as this Ripple fanboy.
He's
and
a pro Ripple guy.
I am totally not. I just want to clear the record here.
Bunchu is Brad Garlinghouse.
I hate Ripple. I really do. I really dislike it. However, I saw an opportunity that I thought was great on a chart, and I tried to take a trade, and it wrecked me the first time, and I went back for more because I'm a glutton for punishment, and this time it's looking a little better.
Well, what's the old adage? Isn't the old adage scams are going to pump the hardest?
Right, exactly. That's why, Verge, Ripple,
the
stuff
end
like
goal
that.
Is more Satoshis. So
that's right, and so this is helping me this time make more Satoshis, but I've been in the position now for a while because I took the first one and it wrecked me, and I went back for more.
Did you get liquidated on that first one?
The first one, yeah, I did while I was on that bachelor party, remember? And
you did the screenshots of all the liquidated emails.
No more emails.
Yeah, no more emails. They stopped calling me. Ripple ghosted me, and that's how I knew Brad Garlinghouse wasn't my friend anymore, and that's how I knew. And this one's doing better. I'm still getting emails, so but yeah, that's where we're at. So the rest of the market looks pretty terrible. Just for perspective, Bitcoin is down about 5-6% today, and everything else is pretty much down with it. Oh, look! Never mind. See, we were right. Verge up 6.5% today.
Nice.
Scams pump the hardest, and that's
Let's see.
that's
Well,
the moral.
Binance coin is up 3%, 3.8%
Ooh.
actually.
Oh, all right,
That is
well,
not a scam coin. I'm
Not
a
a
big
scam
fan
coin.
of
We'll get to
BNB.
that one a little later in our show as well. Awesome. So let's get right into it here. We got some news. Let's start with the news. Chamber, you want to start with the news?
Yeah, I do want to start with the news. This
it.
is actually a pretty fun, interesting story. Augur has a predictions market set up on the Ethereum platform, and our boys actually over at CoinTalk.
I was hoping you were going to bring them up because they've done like 3 episodes in a row on Augur now.
Yeah, so we're gonna, shout out to the only reason I know about this is because of them. So shout out to Jay Kang and our boy Aaron over there. So they were chatting about it last week, and I think they even set up a couple of markets. So
They're big. They're big Augur guys now. They
sure are.
Basically, the one started where they became interested in what it was. Then they tried to set one up, and it was like they tried to like set up the step-by-step guide to actually make a bet, and then I think Aaron in this last episode actually created his own market. So why don't you tell us what this one was, and then I'll tell people what his was.
This one is right up my eye. I like the weird bets. So this one is kind of like a death pool, I guess you would call it.
Celebrity death pool.
Celebrity death pool. So it's basically who's going to be assassinated. So these are some of the markets that are open. Big celebrities like President Donald Trump, Jeff Bezos, Warren Buffett. Not necessarily die, but I think these are they going to be assassinated? So. Interesting, some dark bets to be placed there, but bets nonetheless. I actually made. I'm not a huge gambler, but one of the biggest wins I ever made.
For the
yeah,
podcast.
you definitely do.
You do.
I had a buddy show me a website. This is going back. You guys remember like are you guys familiar with like the popes? So apparently it's like a good pope now. Like everybody seems to like him.
Everybody likes his pope.
But the one before was like the evil pope.
Yeah.
I thought you were just kind of asking me if I know what a pope was.
No, just the individual
I went to
ones.
Catholic school for like up to the end of high school. Like I got the popes beaten into my brain.
All right. So when I think it was right after JP2 had passed away. For those non-Catholics out there, that's John Paul II. There was.
You're on a nickname basis, like
JP2.
Yeah, like
the
RG3, JP2,
the Deuce.
same thing. Yeah.
There was you could make bets on who the next pope was going to be.
That's interesting.
And it was kind of like I forget what year it was, early 2000s, maybe mid 2000s, and I had a buddy show me a website where you could place bets on it. And I placed a pretty hefty bet on the German guy and ended up winning. Like it was like a. It was like a 15-1 or something like that. I was very happy with that. So I love weird betting.
Chamber is the Pope prediction market.
I am. I am the white smoke.
Oh, that needs to be a T-shirt too. Okay, we need to start writing down all these T-shirt ideas.
So what do we got? Big monkey on the rock.
Monkey on the rock.
I am the white smoke.
Yes, and I am the white smoke, which could also be
I still think McAfee needs a shirt with "Who's fucking me in the butt."
Oh.
No, I want the.
I don't know if anybody would wear that, but it's pretty stellar.
What about just a picture of him getting head in a bank? Like that would be a good one too. I think that would make a really good.
I wouldn't wear that shirt, but it would be funny.
That's a double entendre of graphic tee.
Yeah, it could be him getting a blowjob at the bank, and it says, "Don't worry, I'm on bath salts." I like that.
Somebody who hire us. We have a lot of great.
And I'm good at graphics, so we can make this happen.
Never mind. We'll just make them ourselves. Forget it. Anyway, back to Augur. Augur, I think, is a pretty. I don't know. What do you think of these like assassination markets? Because there's potentially a lot of like fallout. Like Augur was in the news all over the place.
What if somebody who makes a bet on this and then they go and do the assassination themselves, so they'll win the bet? I mean, that seems really.
I feel like that person was already going to make the assassination attempt. It wasn't like he was.
You're on a fine like PC line of what you should be betting on, you know?
Well,
I don't think an
definitely.
Ethereum wager is going to shift anybody one way or the other.
Yeah,
Well, that's
you
true
never know.
because I think there's a cap to what you can bet or what you can wager on or what you can win on these. So like, you know,
Would it be worth it?
Right, if you're predicting world events, it's not the pool that you would win is not worth you actually attempting the assassination. Like the same thing as if it's like, you know, will LeBron James have 10 turnovers? I think is the example the coin talk guys used. You know, if he's got 9 turnovers and he can win an extra $3,000 in Ethereum, it's not worth him throwing the ball out of bounds to win $3,000 for LeBron James. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, and then just one more thing about what the guys on Coin Talk were talking about. So Aaron, he actually was hoping that some of his listeners would pump this market. So maybe we can help. Here's a weird bet for you. Chamber. His prediction market was by the end of Donald Trump's first term, would there be a pee video released?
A what?
A video of Donald Trump
video.
of Donald Trump peeing. That was his
Or being
Seriously?
peed
Is
around.
this likely or something? Wait,
I don't know.
Yeah.
I didn't think so, but I
I
don't
mean,
know.
I'm-
Maybe
I'm-
there's some talk out there.
Are you guys not familiar with the alleged pee tapes?
No,
do
see
what?
that I was not. So I guess
Trump
this
is a
where
Golden
this all came
Showers
from.
fan?
So, okay, this is totally speculative, but before I got into crypto, I couldn't get away from American politics. I thought it was just amazing in the horror show.
We're gonna have to toe a fine line here.
Yeah, so,
It's
but I mean, regardless of what side you were on, I mean, it was entertaining, and me being a non-American, even more so. But I was, you know, I was in deep, and then I found crypto, and it kind of got me out of it. But one of the things that came out, I think it was the Steele dossier. If you guys are familiar with that term, apparently it's this a British spy
That's an
that has worked with the
term
yeah.
that I don't get.
So apparently there's this British spy, and I'm probably getting some of this wrong, but I'll get you guys in the ballpark, that worked closely with the Russians as like counter-espionage. And apparently the Russians are big into comp-mat, which is compromising material. Mm-hmm. So anytime there's somebody, a non-Russian comes to Russia, well, there's a good chance that they're being, you know, videotaped or recorded or some, you know, basically trying to get material on you to compromise you. And the story
This is why I can never run for office. There's a lot of comp mat out there
I know.
on Bunchu.
So apparently in this dossier it says that there is so the story goes it was in Moscow. Apparently there's a big hotel. I forget what the hotel is, whether it's a Hilton or you know, Four Seasons or whatever it is.
I don't know if the hotel is relevant, but
yeah,
it's probably
a nice
not
hotel.
a Days Inn.
No, it's not a Motel 6 or anything like that.
It's not a Holiday Inn Express.
But apparently Trump had requested the same room that Barack Obama was in the last time he was there, and apparently got a couple of working gals to come into the room and, like, I think it's pee on the bed, I want to say, or like he would watch and they would pee in this room. And apparently this is like a thing, so that's where that comes from. That's where that market comes from.
Okay, that makes a lot more sense because I wasn't aware of that, and I was like,
I
"What
was
is?"
lost on that one.
"Is he just making a bold? Maybe
No,
he's
that's
got
like-
them. Maybe
that is a
Aaron's
thing.
got the comp mat." Oh man, that's funny. So Augur's pretty interesting in the sense that you can make your own prediction markets. Maybe a REKT podcast will make a couple sometime if we can figure out how to use it.
Aaron made it seem really easy, but Jay did not make it seem that easy.
Yeah, well,
You know,
just
I
a
didn't
quick
know
18
anything.
to 19 step process.
Yeah.
Right, yeah. I didn't know anything about Augur until you guys started talking about it. I mean, I had heard it, but I didn't know I didn't know it was prediction markets and all that stuff. And interestingly enough, I actually talked to Yeezy like months and months ago about how I wanted to put marriages on the blockchain, and you could like short or long marriages on how long you thought they were going to last, like celebrity marriages.
Oh, this
you know.
would be perfect. You could definitely do this.
I want to
with
do my
celebrity
friends'
marriages.
marriages. I don't know how many marriages I've been
And
to.
then,
Like,
then I
ooh.
got into, I was like, well, what if you just got married to bet on your own marriage and then turn around, you know? So there's some kinks to work out, but
Yeah.
I could
pretty-
see Chamber. I could see Chamber sending out like or printing out flyers at his block party about all the prediction markets he's made on his friends' marriages. Like, hey, Cindy and Matt are not going to make it, and here's how you can bet on it.
Yeah, absolutely. Oh my
Cindy
goodness.
and Matt get in on it, and they're like, yeah, it's not.
And Matt's like, you know what? I've always had a crush on Rebecca. Maybe I could use this $5,000. So
You're going to be going to some weddings coming up. I know you're doing a bunch of bachelor parties. So
this is
the weddings,
perfect.
ideally the weddings would also come up at some point.
Right.
But I don't know about you guys. My gift, there's a big stipulation on how far I think the marriage is going to go versus how big my gift is going to be.
How big of a gift you give?
Like, if I don't think it's going to work, it's definitely at least a 30% reduction in the amount
That's
of I'm
awesome.
going to spend.
So you're already shorting marriages.
100%. I'm shorting my.
That's hilarious.
Fantastic. Well, yeah, I've been to so many bachelor parties now. I'm calling myself in honor of Mr. B. I'm Mr. fucking Bachelor, and I'm the big bachelor on the rock. So that's it. But anyway, sorry if my fiance is listening to this. I love you.
I'm going plus 30 on your.
P.S. I love you.
Thanks, Chamber. Anyway, all right, let's go. I kind of want to mix up the stories. I'm gonna go now just to keep it a little less political in a row.
Yeah, true.
So my story is about royalty instead. Kim Kardashian.
Royalty. American royalty.
Kim Kardashian. So I think everybody's probably seen this by now. Kim Kardashian. Oh, they actually call her social media empress, Kim Kardashian.
That sounds right.
Helping bring more users to Bitcoin. So she was at this poker tournament, the first annual City of Hope charity poker tournament, and they gave her a physical Bitcoin that she tweeted out, and it's on the poker table, and it says, "We've moved onto Bitcoin," and then she's tweeted it out to her 114 million Twitter followers, and everybody was talking about this over the weekend, that it was going to be a catalyst for the market, and clearly today we've seen that it's not. But
well, I want to go out on a limb and say that Kim Kardashian fans are probably not in crypto yet. But it is good for just getting the word out there to people.
So it's funny you say that, because I was thinking to myself also, okay, now think about these 114 million followers that she has. Maybe 1% of them are into crypto. Maybe, right? Would you say that's big? Would you say that's a lot?
That would be a lot.
Okay, so now her 99% of followers that are not in crypto, which is easily over 100 million people, now think that Bitcoin is an actual physical coin. because of these pictures that she tweeted out. Like, these followers of hers are going to be trying to buy physical Bitcoins. So now, if you remember a while ago, that guy selling Chuck E. Cheese tokens in New York, telling people they were Bitcoin, that guy's got a whole new market to go after.
That's
absolutely. I also thought this was funny because I'm not saying I can see the future, but I have seen the future. I put out through Whale Reports on June 4th, 2018, an article about Kim Kardashian, and the title was "Kim Kardashian Visits Satoshi to Discuss Scaling and More." So, I wrote a parody article on June 4th about Kim Kardashian making a trip to visit Satoshi, and blowing
my mind right now.
Right, so I've seen the future, so buy some Ripple.
Well, her hubby Kanye West tweeted out "decentralized." Maybe Kanye West is Satoshi.
I'm pretty sure this is why I originally wrote this article, because I thought it was funny that he was doing all of this. Yeah. Let's see if I could find any good quotes from this article. When asked what side of the scaling debate she will fall on, she answered, "I like big blocks and I cannot lie." And we were also able to get her thoughts on SegWit, which she stated, "I liked his earlier work. I still listen to his new stuff every now and then, but when you're married to the voice of a generation, you really don't have time for other rappers." So I've already seen the future, and it is Kim Kardashian in the White House, and visiting Satoshi, and all of her 114 million followers are going to be trying to buy physical Bitcoin, which I actually have one. I have a physical Bitcoin right here.
Cool.
So I'm going to try to sell that to one of her followers on eBay. All right.
Those are worth like $8,000.
That's right. Almost. Almost. All right. Let's go to Cynthia with our last story.
Yeah, okay, we're back to politics again, kind of. Ripple announced that former president, the 42nd president, Bill Clinton, will be the keynote speaker at Swell this year, which Swell is, quote, the world's leaders in policy, payments, and technology summit. And so their speaker this year is none other than Bill Clinton. And I just thought it was... okay, first let me say that I am a tin hat wearing conspiracy theorist.
Oh, you are? Yes, we need to get into some conspiracies here.
I probably believe some stuff that you guys haven't even heard of. My husband got me into this a long time ago.
All right, well, we're going to need to talk off air about what our favorite ones are.
For sure.
We'll see what we can relate to
some pretty
crypto.
crazy
Are we going to talk about that Clinton kill list?
Well, that sounds like something on Augur.
Well, okay, I will fully say that Hillary and the Clinton Foundation kill list is totally real.
Oh my God, we are off the rails.
Talking about conspiracy theories, I mean, I can't.
Fair
but
enough.
there are people, I would just say, that have done the Clintons wrong that just disappear.
When we tweet out the
we love you, Bill and Hillary.
Well,
I don't want to die. I'm just kidding.
when we tweet out, well, I did tell John McAfee last week that I hoped I would never have to see any kinds of guns of his. So, we're on 2 weeks in a row where we are potentially on an Augur assassination.
Yeah, no kidding. We're really treading
prediction
that line.
market.
No, but back to my article. We all, refer to Ripple as like the man's cryptocurrency, even though it's not a cryptocurrency. Just financial institutions. Yeah. Whatever. We all know that. But Bill Clinton, I mean, you just kind of... I wonder how much they paid him, honestly.
It's funny you say that because I saw a tweet that I thought was funny. I don't have it off the top of my head right now, but it said, I don't know, maybe... actually, it might have been Bitcoin Bella, actually. It said, I don't know why you're all surprised about Bill Clinton. If you paid him enough, they'd speak at your event, too. So it's like,
totally true.
It's
totally
funny.
True.
But, so big news. Maybe that's what's pumping my Ripple bag today.
Yeah, when I saw the link, I texted it to my husband, and his response in all caps was, "They paid him bank."
Oh,
and I'm like, yes,
they must have.
Yes,
I mean,
they
did. Didn't they give away $5 million to Ellen a couple of weeks ago?
Yeah, Ashton Kutcher did.
That was. By the way, Ashton Kutcher, if you're listening, you have an email from Chamber in your inbox to come on the show.
And I tweeted at you, even though you probably didn't see it.
Well, he's gonna listen. Don't worry, he's probably listening.
It'll be like
now.
It'll be like a callback to that '70s show where we're just kind of all four of us getting high and looking at each other in the face. It's gonna be great.
We need to make it a video.
Yeah, like
when their faces
Google
are in the
Hangout.
circle and it's just the smoke.
That's great.
Ashton, get on this.
Anyway, awesome. So that's our couple of quick news stories today. They were a little more political than we typically get, but we have Trump peeing on a hotel bed and Hillary assassinations, Hillary kill list. So it wasn't that great. I mean, they weren't that political, but
anyway. we made sure to hit both sides of the spectrum.
and we got the royalty with Kim Kardashian, so we're set on all sides. Okay, we're gonna do a fun new segment that we're gonna try out here. It's called Marry, Fuck, Kill, and this is a game that I play with my friends all the time, obnoxiously, because once you start playing it, you can't stop. So I'm gonna give these guys two sets of them, and they're gonna tell me which one they would marry, which one they would fuck, and which one they would kill. Now, here are my rules, though. We're playing Bunchu house rules. If you choose them to marry, you could never have sex with them. That's the rules. Otherwise, there's no...
So like a regular marriage.
Exactly. So that's kind of... Exactly. This this is how that rule came, because people would try to find the loophole, like when you're playing with actresses or actors, and they're like, "Well, I'd marry him because I can do them all the time." I'm like, "No, that's not the rules. The marriage is based on spending your life together, not a sexual relationship."
Abstinence-based marriage.
Yeah.
Right, right, exactly. Those are the rules, so that we don't get any loopholes here. So,
All right, that's
you know,
fair. That's fair.
all right. So our first one here, we're going to go with Tron, Ripple, and Verge. Marry
God.
one, fuck one, kill one. Who
Okay,
wants to
I'm
start?
going to go first and
Okay.
say, let's see, what, Tron, Ripple, and Verge?
Yeah.
Obviously, the F one is Verge because it's the porn coin. They're freaky.
It's genius. I think you just broke the game. That's it. I mean, that one, you have to, that's a great one. You have to pick that.
Okay, and then marry or kill between Tron and Ripple. I'm going to have to say that I would have to kill Ripple. I mean, I just wouldn't be, a true crypto enthusiast without killing Ripple. And then Tron,
That's a good
if I'm
explanation.
not sleeping with Tron, then okay, I'll marry you.
All right. So I think that's I think that's a good one. Chamber, what do you got? Anything
I'm
different?
I'm going a different direction.
All right.
All right. I think I'm gonna fuck Ripple. I'll tell you why.
I'll
tell you why.
You
'Cause
dirty
I think Ripple
bastard.
is like those like really sexy CEOs. Like a power lady. That's how I see Ripple.
Power lady.
Yeah, she would just have her way with me, and it would be great.
So wait, you basically imagine Ripple as
A lady in the streets and a freak in the sheets.
Jennifer Aniston in Horrible Bosses.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yes,
Yeah.
okay.
Exactly that. That's what I see Ripple as.
Okay.
I would kill Verge, just because it's gross and yucky now, and it's been used by everybody. And I would marry Tron because I feel like they would they're the real hype machine, and I feel like waking up every morning next to the hype machine, I'd get really excited to go
You
go
get
out
really
and
hyped.
yeah, exactly, like a hype man in your corner all the time.
Oh my God.
giving you pumping you up every day. So
Okay.
I think Tron would be the merry go.
So I'm gonna go opposite of all three. I think. Well, no, I'm gonna marry Ripple, and the reason why
You would.
I'm marrying Ripple for the money. It's big market cap.
Hey, that's fair. You gotta take care of you.
They've got all the pre-mine. If I marry Ripple, I am set for life, and so I am marrying Ripple. I'm going to kill Verge, and I'm going to bang the hype machine, Tron.
Yeah, I mean, hey, that hype machine will make you feel good afterwards.
So
Okay, I just need to say to everybody listening, I'm the only one that killed Ripple. Okay.
Well, so
Don't
okay.
forget that.
Hold on. Here's what we're gonna do with these. Since we all had different answers, we're gonna put them on a poll on Twitter and see who gets the most love. So,
There you go.
we're definitely gonna do that. All right, we got one more, and then we'll get to our REKT index. So this one's going a little different direction here. Roger Ver,
Oh God.
John McAfee, or Craig Wright.
I don't know if I want to answer this. Like,
Well, we haven't had two of the three of them on the show. Should we take out McAfee and put someone we haven't had on the show?
maybe.
No, keep John. Keep
No,
John.
we're keeping this one as it is. All right,
Yeah.
go. Chamber, you go first.
Well, I'm going to tell you right away. I'm marrying John.
Yeah.
I need to live that lifestyle. That just seems like crazy. I don't care if we don't. I don't care if we don't get intimate. But
You don't have to. You're
no,
going to
exactly.
live a great life.
I think that life would be interesting. I would marry Roger. Or no, sorry. I would bang Roger because he just seems, again, just another, like, he seems like a freak in the sack as well.
No way. He's one of those dudes that like cries afterwards.
You know what? I'm okay with that. Even if it's a sensitive lovemaking session, that's fine.
It's beautiful.
It is beautiful.
It was so beautiful.
Or he could yell at me and give me the fingers afterwards.
Oh, that would be good too.
That'd be fine. And then I'd kill Mr. Wright, unfortunately.
I would not. I would.
Oh wow!
I would marry. Mr.
I love
Right
this
for his
podcast
money.
because usually you get a couple people answering the same things, and we're already on 2 for 2 that everybody's gonna have different answers.
I would marry Wright for the same reason as Bunchu marrying Ripple, because apparently Wright is like richer than entire countries, he says.
That's true.
So I'm going to marry him for his Bcash stash.
Ooh.
And,
That's the same reason you're going to bang Roger Ver, isn't it? The Bcash stash.
Double up on that Bcash.
I don't know if I can deal with crying afterwards, but I also am not down with hammocks. So I guess I'm going to
This was a great segment.
Roger Ver, and unfortunately, McAfee, I heart you, but I'm gonna have to kill you.
Wow, that was man. If you put me if I had to bet the odds of that beforehand, I would have not gotten that one right at all. All right, I'm going to go. I'm going to marry McAfee also, just because Actually, no. I'm gonna bang McAfee because he'll always keep it, pretty
Buckle
interesting. Yeah,
Buckle
exactly. But, like, he'll keep it interesting. Like Roger Ver, I think I'm gonna marry because, like, I kind of think he's kind of boring, and like but he won't.
There
you
goes
don't have
us
to,
ever
you don't
getting
have to
Ver
worry
on the
about
podcast,
it.
guys.
I feel like he's gonna be pretty loyal to me. You know what I mean? And then
He would be loyal for sure.
yeah. So I think he'll be pretty loyal. Like I've seen him, go to bat for Bcash a million times. So I think I'm gonna marry that loyalty, and then I'm also going. Then that means Craig Wright doesn't make the cut, unfortunately. And look, I think it's an easy one. Anybody who thinks he's Satoshi and lying about it, I think he's got to go. And that's my guess there. So.
Yeah.
Anyway, that is our segment of MFK Crypto Edition. I hope you enjoyed that as much as we did, because
that was fun. That was fun. I like that one.
So we can also.
All I gotta say is it's a good thing my husband doesn't listen to my podcasts.
Well, that's why. Look, we're trying to make these fun enough where it's not, like. That's why you go with stuff like projects like Tron.
Do you not
Ripple,
have conversations like this with your husband, by the way?
No,
This is no different than the conversations I have with my wife.
Nope, same. Like my fiance.
I've never even played this game, in all honesty.
What?
Ever. Maybe
this is
that
like
means
my
I'm
favorite
like
thing.
a total dork, but like I talk conspiracy theories with my husband.
Well, that's okay
99%
too.
of the
That's
time,
fun.
So.
That's
Well, we could play MFK conspiracy theories next time too. So,
I like that.
You could play it with anything. That's why it's fun. You just have to be creative enough to give a reason on why. You know what I mean? So we'll do some more of these, in our 30-minute episodes here, and we could also take requests from our Telegram group.
Ooh, that'd be a good idea.
Yes, on what they want
I think
us
that'd be good
to make good ones of. But anyway, let's get to the REKT index, shall we?
Let's see how we're doing. We need intro music for the REKT index. By the way,
I was thinking that we need a couple. We need a couple drops once we have like real good segments that we're getting to all the time. Like the REKT index definitely will be one that sticks
For
around.
sure.
Because we have cash in it.
I was listening.
Maybe Johnny Mac can help us out with that again, because his intro for
could.
our podcast is legit, literally the best.
Yeah, he probably could. I'll reach out to him about a couple drops. What were you saying, Chamber?
I was listening to another podcast today, the Crypto Sky podcast, and they did a joint interview with. I'd never heard of the podcast before, but I think Coin Boys, and their production value.
I think they follow us on Twitter now.
Shout out to Coin Boys and Crypto Sky, but the production value on Coin Boys was nice. They had some music. They had for their segments. I liked what they were doing over there.
I see what you're getting at, Chamber, because I do all of that production stuff. Yeah. I see you subtly dropping hints.
Get on it.
Hey, Hey, Bunchu, ever heard of Coin Boys? You should check it out.
Yeah, just saying.
They do a lot of cooler stuff than you.
They're bringing the heat. They're bringing the heat.
Damn it. All right.
So, no, I got to learn. I mean, you guys definitely prop me up the whole time, so I got to watch what I say. So, the REKT Index Fund. We are currently up 6.14% in BTC value, which is pretty good.
In our Bitcoin value?
Yeah.
That's pretty good considering.
How much?
6.14%.
Not bad.
We are up 8.9% in Ethereum value if we want to swap everything for Ethereum.
Okay.
And we are down 0.19% in dollar value. But I think that's just because
0.19? That's
yeah.
it?
Yep.
That-
We're looking pretty good.
That's shocking to me.
Our top performer is Z Classic. We are up almost 60% on that move.
Holy crap.
Yeah,
Wow.
big time. Actually, I think shout out to who was that one? Was that
That
Chris?
was Mr. B.
That was Mr. B.
Yeah.
Mr. fucking backwards.
Mr. fucking backwards. And actually, shout out to I think this was Yeezy for Ravencoin,
Yep.
up a solid 33%.
Nice.
And then down at the bottom of the list, this is where I'm like, oh, I'll just pick our bottom
Or as we
feeders.
call it, the chamber line.
Yeah. Oh. So
So that's what we're going to refer to this as. Anything that's in the green and above, or anything in the red and below, is the chamber line.
yeah. Ooh. Pulling up the rear is Nebulous.
Yeah.
We are down 21.35%.
Ouch.
And
Damn it,
number
Chapo.
2, that's all right. I just bought a bag yesterday, so that's going to go down even more.
But your buying theory would be correct. It's
Yeah.
down 30%. Buy
Yeah.
some. You should.
That's
That's
what I did. So
Right.
I think I'm only down like 1 or 2% from yesterday, so that's all right. The second worst one is Digibyte, and we are down 15% on that one. So
Who called that
see,
one?
I have ours as Monero, the second one. I have 13.14% on Monero, but that just could be
I got
Depending on
Monero at
the track.
11.92, so it's right
okay.
there.
So,
So
right
they're
there.
pretty close.
All
But
right.
yeah, so doing pretty good. I think up in BTC, up in Ethereum, and
And up in
flat
up in love.
I just
up
bought a
in
bunch
love.
of Ethereum the other day.
We're up in love. So that
which is
that's-
really all that matters.
right,
It
it
is.
is, and that's what we're here for on this podcast. We're
And
here
we're
to
gonna
be
start
up
singing
in love.
Kumbaya and
Yes,
stuff like
and
that.
talk about conspiracy theories
That's right.
Yes.
and what projects we would like to have sex with.
That's right. So many projects.
That's it. So that's going to do it for us today. Thanks for listening. We do want to remind you to follow us on all of our social media. Share this stuff with your friends, your friends, your enemies. I don't care.
Yeah.
Share it with
We
your
may
enemies.
like them.
Yeah, share it with your enemies. Share us on. We are on Facebook, as we talked about last time, at REKT Podcast. Leave us a 5-star review on iTunes with your REKT. With your REKT story. So last episode we talked about trying to bury the Raptor Jesus 42. The Raptor Jesus 42
Raptor Jesus.
review. So Raptor Jesus gave us a 4-star review. Very generous of you, Raptor Jesus, on June 28th, 2018. So my fear is that this one's not going to get buried just because it's the very first review that we got.
Yeah, that was the day after our first
That's
episode.
yep. But it was a 4-star reviews. It just says great content, but please lose the broad. Her shrill voice, terrible laugh, and zero insight adds nothing to this otherwise entertaining and informative podcast.
I forgot
Great
the
job,
zero insight
everyone
part.
else.
Scathing
Great
review.
job, everyone else.
In my defense, I had a crappy mic back then, and I was very loud and shrilly. I'll give you that.
I'm
No,
thinking
no,
you
no.
may have
There's
confused
like-
your voice with my voice. I
Yeah,
think my voice is
exactly.
very shrill.
Yeah, cut out that shrill host because he's terrible.
And I was super drunk when I read this thing, and I'm like messaging you guys, and I'm like, "Are you kidding me?" And I think it was Bunchy was like, "Yeah, I saw that," and I was like, "What the hell?"
Well,
Yeah,
so
about that.
we're trying to bury this one. So leave us a 5-star review, and this was basically our version of celebrities read mean tweets. So which
We
also
totally
might
need
be,
to do that.
Which also might be a segment coming up in our future. But anyway, leave us a 5-star review with your REKT story on iTunes, and we will read it. Or leave us a shitty one like this. We'll read it too. We don't care.
Probably better odds that we'll read it.
As long as it's 4 or 5 stars, we don't really care.
True.
And then follow us on Twitter at REKT_podcast. Join our Telegram group where you can leave us MFK recommendations. It's t.me /REKT_podcast. And that is it for us today. Anyone else want to add anything?
No, just
I'll
shout
leave
out to
my
our
shrill-
Telegram group. You know, they're really killing it lately. Nice place to be.
I say it all the time, but they really are my favorite group in Telegram. I have so much fun in there.
It's because everybody shares our sense of humor. So, because if they don't like us, they won't be in there. So
Sure,
you figure everybody in there's got similar sense of humor to us.
They
It's
love
the best.
us. They really love us.
It's the best Telegram out there. So anyway, join it. Be up in love, and until next time, don't get wrecked. And that is financial advice.